As soon as you've registered on the iSpot website, you can start adding your own wildlife observations to iSpot. You can do this either by clicking on the Add menu and choosing Observation, or you can look for the blue Add Observation button and click on that. You're now asked to provide the details of the wildlife observation that you wish to add to the site. The first thing to do is to add the photo. Click on Choose File and find wherever on your computer it is that you've saved the photo. Now click on Attach this photo and the photo will be uploaded to iSpot. If you have more than one photo of your particular observation, you can add another photo at this point. We now move on to add some details about the observation. Usually some of the details will be picked up from the photo itself, so that if your photo has a title, for instance, it will get copied into the box here. However, you may wish to adjust the title. Once you're happy with the title for your observation, you can add the date on which it was actually seen in the wild. You can also add a description of your observation here. It's useful to do this, particularly if you're seeking help with identifying whatever it is you've seen. The description box can be used to give a bit more information about what the species looked like, where you found it, what size it was, anything that you think might help somebody identify the species. You don't need to know what the species is to add your observation to iSpot, but you do need to assign it to a particular group of wildlife. Choose whichever group fits your observation best. In this case, we think we've seen a moth, which is a type of insect, and that falls into the invertebrates group. You can, if you wish, assign a habitat tag to your observation, which is woodland in our case, and you can add further tags if you wish to. The next section is about where your observation was made. Usually the simplest way to do this is to click on the button that says Use Map. This opens up a Google map and you can now zoom in to wherever you were at the time, or alternatively you can use the search boxes to find a particular location, or to use an Ordnance Survey grid reference if you happen to know that. Once you've found the place on the map where you saw your observation, you can just click on that point, then click on Done. That automatically fills in the latitude and longitude, and you can give your location a title as well. If for any reason you don't want to show the precise location on iSpot, you can tick the box to hide this. The location will still be displayed, but only as a 1 kilometre square rather than as a precise point. The final box is to do with the species name. If you don't know what your species is, it's absolutely fine to leave this blank and somebody else on iSpot will soon be able to help you. But if you do think you know what it is, then you can add either the scientific name or the common name. For instance, if we thought this moth was a large yellow underwing moth, we could start typing that in, and the name should soon appear in the drop-down list as you type. Click on the name that you want, and then it's also really useful to click on the Get Recommended button, which will fill in the scientific name that goes with it. Or vice versa, if you've put in a scientific name, the Get Recommended button will give you the English name. It's really helpful to click on Get Recommended because this ensures that the name you're using fits in with the iSpot species dictionaries. If you've identified your species, it's always good to put something into the ID notes box to explain to people why it is that species and not any other. And finally, you can say whether you're sure about the identification or whether you're looking for help confirming it. In our example, I don't think this moth is a large yellow underwing, so I'm going to leave these boxes blank and hopefully somebody else will identify it for me. Having filled that in, you can now choose to either preview or save your observation, so I'll click on Save. And the observation has now been added to iSpot with the photo, with the location details and anything else that you filled in, and it's now visible on iSpot, where you'll be able to get help from our other users as to what the species actually is.